Hey everyone, welcome to the PhoneArena.com video review of the Samsung Eternity phone. This phone is currently available with AT&T, and it's their first non-smartphone from Samsung to utilize the TouchWiz interface. Basically, what you can see here from the home screen, there's a variety of different icons located on the front here. On the side here, you have your widgets. You could choose from a variety of different widgets that you want. Basically, you just click and drag a specific widget onto the home screen, and if you don't like it, you could always move it back to the left-hand side. Overall, the design of the phone, it uses a black glossy plastic similar to what you find on the iPhone. There's actually on the border, there's a chrome border plating around the phone which gives it a nice accent. As far as the front of the phone, you'll find 3 dedicated hardware buttons, from the send key, the end key, to the back and clear key. The screen itself is 3.2 inches, displays 262,000 colors, and you can see here it displays a variety of different colors pretty good, from the blues to the greens and to even the red. At the top of the phone, you'll find a speaker, a single speaker. Unfortunately though, everything's done through one speaker for your phone calls, for the speakerphone, and even your music output. It would have been nice if we had a separate speaker rather than the single one on top here. And at the top right hand side, you can't see it, but there's actually a light sensor there. It'll measure the amount of ambient light coming in, so either lower the brightness of the display, or dim it down to conserve power here. On the left side of the phone, you'll find the volume rocker, volume up, volume down. You'll find the charging port and USB port right here. It's neither a micro or mini USB connection, but Samsung uses their own proprietary connection here. On the other side of the phone, you'll find the camera button right here to quickly launch the camera to take photos, and you'll also have a quick menu icon right here. So basically what that does is whenever you press it at any time, it'll launch a quick menu icons here. Basically you have the ability to make a phone call, either go to the media player, main menu, launch the browser, or even send messages, or just go back. And that could be launched at any time by pressing the button here on the side. And the last thing you'll see here on the side is the 3.5mm headphone jack, so you could use your own set of headphones to listen to music. On the bottom of the phone, the microphone's hidden right here, and the unique thing about this phone is that the bottom illuminates in a specific color whenever you have a phone call coming in. You can choose from, I believe, blue, green, and yellow, and I believe red too, so the bottom just illuminates. At the top, you'll find a hold button that usually basically unlocks the phone, locks the phone, and turns off display. On the back, you'll find the 3.0 megapixel camera. Unfortunately, this does not come with either a self-portrait mirror or even a flash. The back looks to have an almost brushed aluminum finish, but it's in fact a plastic material. But we like how it kind of emulated the look of a metallic surface here. Overall, the design of the phone we found quite pleasing. It was very durable, it didn't seem cheap, it felt really good in the hand, very lightweight, and also very thin for a phone, pretty thin for a phone. It's only half an inch thick here. Now, like what we mentioned earlier, the Eternity is actually one of Samsung's first phones in the United States to use the TouchWiz interface. And as you can see from the home screen here, there are some widgets that you can move around. Whenever you press the screen, there's a vibration that is accompanied by it to indicate that the screen has been touched. If you don't like a specific widget, you could always move it on to the left-hand side, and you could move over the ones that you want right to the middle of the home screen. Now, Samsung only allows you to choose from the set of widgets that you find here on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, you can't add any additional ones. We would have loved to see some more personalization when it comes to the widgets. A lot of animations are used, as you can see as I'm moving the widgets over from the left to the right, that the Eternity uses, and they do a good job of using a lot of transition effects within the sub-menus of the phone. For example, when I click the menu button, there's going to be a transition effect which makes it look a lot nicer than just seeing a basic movement. Now, as you can see, there are the AT&T software applications that you can launch directly from the home screen here. For example, there's the AT&T Music. The phone itself is enabled for mobile TV broadcasting, singular video. You have your MediaNet web browser here. You also have the AT&T Navigator service. Making phone calls on the Eternity is a breeze. Basically all you have to do is just click the dial pad on the home screen or in the main menu. It brings up your traditional dial pad here. We found that the touchscreen to be quite sensitive and accurate whenever we press buttons or a specific key on the screen here. You'll also find your contacts, just like you find on other touchscreen phones. In order to scroll down, you just flick your finger up, or go back up, you flick it down, and you could move around. You could actually search for specific contacts by holding the left hand side and dragging it to the specific first name here. When you go back to the main menu, you'll find AT&T's set of software applications such as AT&T Music Service. The phone is enabled for mobile TV viewing as long as you're in an area that has the service provided. You'll find MediaNet browser to launch your internet browser. You have also AT&T Navigator for the GPS software. Sending messages on the Eternity is quite a breeze. All you gotta do is just launch the messaging application. You'll be able to either send text messages, you could also send emails. Unfortunately though, with the mobile email software that comes with the phone, you're only limited to a specific email providers that you could use to view your emails on the phone. For example, you have Yahoo, AOL, AIM, Windows Live Hotmail, AT&T, Bell South. Now one would think that other providers will enable you to use your own POP3, specific POP3 or IMAP4 email service, but unfortunately it only gives you Comcast, Earthlink, Juno, Mindspring, and F0 to choose from. We would like to see that the phone use other email providers other than the ones that are provided with the phone here. But like I said, sending messages, you just click create message here. You could either use the traditional keypad to type messages. You could even flip the phone over because it has an accelerometer. You'll be able to use the full QWERTY keyboard, and we found that using the full QWERTY keyboard to be the best option here. There's also another option that you could use from here. You could use the handwriting recognition tool here. Now the handwriting recognition tool takes a while getting used to. It's a lot slower than the other two methods. You could either type the letter syncs one at a time, or you could do it together and complete a sentence. Now the phone is enabled for mobile TV as long as you're in an area that the service is provided. From our experience with checking out the TV service, it came out pretty well, although sometimes the video would come in choppy as well as the audio depending on the signal strength here. But it's another way for you to actually view TV on the phone. It's not for everyone, but from my experience it was a pretty decent quality. When running AT&T's music service, you'll have a variety of different software applications you could use to run music. You could either shop music. There's also XM radio compatibility with the phone. When you launch the music player, it's just very basic. You basically have your album cover, your artist, name the song, your play, rewind, and back key. Very simple, very easy to use, not as much personalization. You go back to your library and choose it by artist, album, or genre here. But we found that the music to be quite very easy to use. You could either run the songs through the main menu here. There's also another. If you go back to the home screen, you could either launch the widget for the media player here, quickly play, or pause a song, fast forward, but you have that ability to do it. As far as the web browser goes, we found that the Eternity doesn't do as good of a job when compared to other phones when rendering web pages here. It takes quite some time just loading up a page like ours at Phone Arena here. And you notice if you use the volume rocker, you could actually zoom out, zoom in, change the display of the layout of the page itself here. But it does take some time for the phone to actually render some of the photos. When you even tilt the phone to its side landscape, the accelerometer will automatically rotate the phone. but it's not as quick or swift as what you find on the Safari browser. It's quite basic. Unfortunately, it doesn't have flash support like other phones, but as far as a basic browser, it does a pretty good job, and it's quite legible with all the colors and also text on the phone itself. Now, when you press the dedicated camera button, it'll launch the photo application tool here. Basically, it's just your basic camera phone settings here with a couple of icons lined up, a few icons lined up on the side here. Change the settings from either camera to camcorder or even video share services. You could change to either single, continuous, panorama. There's a smile shot, mosaic, and frame. Also, the resolution on the phone of the video, the quality of photos can be changed from up to 3 megapixels all the way down to even 0.3, or even a 400 by 240 pixel display here. And of course, the settings to the phone, you could add different effects like black and white. You could change the exposure meter, and also the scene here, and also the image quality. On the right side, you'll find the auto white balance. You could change it to either daylight, incandescent, fluorescent, or even cloudy. There's also an option to put on a timer on the pictures itself. And of course, you could increase or decrease the brightness depending on your liking. And you could also review your photo by clicking the play button here in the bottom right. But photo quality is really good with the phone for a 3 megapixel camera here. You just point, click, and shoot. There's no auto-focusing mechanism. But as far as video quality is concerned with the phone, it does a really nice job here. Overall, the Samsung Eternity does a pretty good job as being a all-in-one multimedia player. It might not have all the glitzy glamour of the iPhone or even the Storm, but it's very easy to use, very quick. The startup time for the phone itself, from a hard, cold start to getting to the main menu here, was less than 30 seconds. And everything went really smooth with the software on the phone, even with all the various transition effects and that the phone uses. It does a really good job, runs fine. Call quality was pretty good too. We didn't have too much of a problem listening to any callers on phone. Speakerphone quality was decent, not the best, not that loud, but it was decent. Performance, like we said, with the we got pretty good battery life with the phone itself. We got over 5 hours of talk time, which is stated as a minimum on the manufacturer's website here. We like the Samsung Eternity here. It does make as a good multimedia phone. It's quick, fast, pretty good design. We just wish that the camera, you see other phones such as the Pixon or even the Omnia that was released with the 5 megapixel camera. Unfortunately, this model has been scaled back, but it does a pretty good job even with a 3.0 megapixel camera here.